Welcome back to K-Ratio's Week in Preview. I'm Kyle Lintner and I'm here today to provide actionable insight for the future, not recap the past. In this week's episode, the Thanksgiving holiday is upon us, so naturally we have record amounts of freight coming via planes, trains, and automobiles. We'll break down what that means for you this week, but first let's take a look at where the freight market currently stands. Again, remaining above 15,000 for any non-holiday since August 17th, the National Outbound Tender Volume Index hit a new all-time high of 16,209. Tenders are abundant nearly everywhere, with major markets like Atlanta and Chicago hitting new highs, with LA, Dallas, and Harrisburg sitting just below. With this many tenders overall and across so much of the country, we're certain to have a record amount of tender rejections, and that's where we find ourselves today. The new all-time high outbound tender rejections print of 28.25% in blue is an astounding 21 percentage points higher than this time last year, seen in orange, and the first time above 28%. If we're talking record tenders and record rejections, then we're obviously looking at record rates per mile. As reported by TruckStop, last week's delayed print of $2.89 per mile marks the 11th consecutive week of national spot rates above $2.80, and when we reconvene next week, I can guarantee we'll be talking about a new all-time high as the data trickles in. Simply put, there is not enough capacity overall, nor enough in the places that need it most. Last week we highlighted the massive surge in ocean cargo set to be unloaded in the port of LA, and now that freight has to work its way through the domestic supply chain. For LA and its nearby warehousing markets, both tenders and rejections saw a 2 to 3% increase last week, and now the second order effect of all that freight is set to begin. Goods that have the luxury of time can go via rail, and the jump in outbound LA rail volume in blue was met with a nearly identical jump in inbound Chicago rail volume seen in green. This is not a coincidence, nor is the fact that Dallas inbound rail volume last week hit the fourth highest number this year. The movement via rail bypasses the tight capacity issue in LA, but now presents the same problem for Chicago and Dallas, as all of that freight did not come in on a truck, but will now command one to get to its final destination. What does this mean for freight this week? Carriers, regardless of where you choose to go, you'll be paid a hefty sum to do so, as capacity is short across the entire country. However, the highlights now include major power lanes like Chicago to Atlanta coming in at $3.62 a mile, and our favorite LA to Dallas at $3.50 a mile, bringing the total all-in rate north of $5,000. Brokers, book what you can today or tomorrow, because the back half of the week are the things nightmares are made of. Shippers, same goes for you here. You need to get your stuff moved prior to Wednesday, as after that price won't even matter. You just won't be able to find a truck to do so. For all of you, next week will be a busy one, as all of this historic freight could not have come at a worse time. Given everything that's gone on this year and the fact that truck drivers have been running overtime and at extremely high rates for many months now, this holiday seems like the perfect time to take a well-deserved break, and that spells doom for anyone looking to move a load and boom for anyone still willing to do so. In this season of giving thanks, I cannot genuinely thank you enough for your continued viewership of the Week in Preview and for making K-Ratio.com your preferred destination for definitive freight market analysis. Please stay safe, and thank you again for watching.